got some old, worn-out chest freezers over here that are destined to be scrap metal, but like upcycling things whenever possible. So I'm going to try to cut the shelves out of these because I think that's going to work pretty well, and let us reuse this metal. Right out of there. Okay, got tools for that. I see. Move down to the layer of foam. There we go. Okay, well, didn't know about the layer of foam being completely glued to this. But I think it's gonna be okay. I think I can scrape that off later and still make that do what I want it to do. It's just gonna be an extra step is all. Okay, one down. I want 3 shells for this, so got 2 more of these to go. Alright, just barely squeaked by on the end of that blade, but got there. right size for my trays to fit inside it. With all that done, I think we're actually finally ready to start welding. To start with, I'm just going to tack weld everything real quick to get it in the right place, and then I'll go back and I'll really fill it in a bit better. Okay, it's not pretty. There's some big gaps I'm going to have to do my best to fill in, but I think it will work. It doesn't really need to hold much weight. It's just going to hold a shelf with a couple light items on it. So the real question is, does it fit the shelf? That's what we need to check. Hey, look at that. It'll work. Okay, cool. I'm going to fill in the pan a little bit better from this side. I don't want to fill it from the top side because that's where the shelf needs to be, and I don't really want them, the welds interfering with how the shelf sits. Ooh, that's not good. That's way off. Yeah, it'll be fine. Not worried about it. That's what I've decided. Not worried about it. Okay, like I said, I'm really just learning how to weld. I'm still not good at it. You can see that is not level, but again, I really don't care for what I'm after. Those of you who actually know how to weld, by all means, give me some constructive feedback in the comments. Although this is the internet, so I imagine it's going to be a bunch of yelling and name calling rather than construction, but, you know, constructive comments would be preferred. Sorry everyone, had a bit of a camera malfunction, so you missed a little bit of it there, but basically all I did was I ground off the welds on the bottom of this last shelf so that I can put these lovely casters on. Sweet. Well, I have learned an important lesson tonight, which is that you shouldn't weld this close to cheap casters, at least not if you're as bad at welding as I am, because what happens is little, it's too late at night, the little splatter from the welding gets up in there, and also all the grease that's meant to be in those bearings melts right off, and then the wheels don't turn very well. So I'm going to try to break that free and put some grease back in there, and hopefully get these suckers spinning a little more freely. Sorry that I keep doing things off camera, but my battery's about to die, and I really want to be done with this tonight because it's late and I'm tired. And so what I've done is I've just secured all my welds all around. I greased up the bearings on the wheels, on the casters, which has done an amazing job of smoothing them out. And then I cut a couple of pieces to make my little rigging on the side that I mentioned earlier. Using PVC for that, always keep your scraps of PVC around because they're incredibly useful. And what's going to happen is these are just going to bolt over to the side in those holes that I drilled earlier, and then one. And then I will have places that I can put things like my chipping hammers and a wire brush and that sort of thing, where they're easily accessible and I'm not constantly losing them, which is what happens right now. Also, I really wanted some sort of wrap on the back that I could wrap the extension cord around, and also I wanted handles on this thing just to make it easy to push around. And so given where all this started, I figured why not just cut the two handles off of the wheelchair and flatten them out a bit, just using a hammer and a vise. Sanded off most of the paint where I need to weld, and then that I'm gonna attach them in like so. That way I can then wrap the cord around them and also just have a nice handle to push this thing around. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then paint this and I think call it a night. Okay, that is all done, and hopefully you can now see what I was talking about with these lovely handles that I pulled off of the wheelchair and mounted onto here, and also my little PVC rack for all the main tools that I grab constantly. And I got plenty of room left over here that I can expand as I realize that there's other tools that I really need for welding. So the only thing left to do now is to paint this sucker and call it a night. Well, it's the next day and the paint has dried, and lo and behold, we have a welding cart. I am actually pretty pleased with this thing. I think it came out pretty well, especially given my limited experience with metal fabrication. And so now the only thing left to do is to really load it up and make it into a functional cart. Well, there we have it. One functional functional welding cart. I'm going to call this one a job moderately well done. It meets all my expectations. Got holders for all the tools that I use most commonly. I can easily access everything on the welder. Got a spot on the back to keep my extension cord, nice and easy to uncoil. Got a second shelf down here where I can keep the helmet and gloves and respirator and other common tools, and then lower section down here for things like switching to stick welding and extra sticks and wire and that sort of thing. Ultimately, I will probably build some sort of organization system for down here to keep that stuff a bit better organized, but I just haven't really been welding long enough to have a good sense for what I need in the way of accessories and all down there. So that's a thing that's going to come in the future. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. It rolls around shut nice and easy, and I think it's going to do exactly what I need. So thank you all for watching. In addition to my first time building this sort of thing, this is also my first time making a video like this. So, if you enjoyed it, feel free to like and tell me to keep filming as I'm doing random work here at the station. If not, I guess you can tell me that too. And more importantly, if you want to actually keep up with the research we're doing here at the station, not just the random stuff I'm building to enable that research, you can follow the Savannah Field Station on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at SSF Belize. Thanks for watching.